Hi Libra, welcome to your October reading. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for being with me here today. I really appreciate you. As I was getting into your energy, I didn't actually get a whole lot of like messages or like feelings or images, but I did get the imagery of like a hummingbird drinking nectar from like a red flower. So hummingbirds are symbolic of good luck. They're very positive. They're very enthusiastic, especially that's what it talks about in my animal spirit deck. So it feels like October is a pretty good month for you. You know where your nectar's at. You know where your nectar's at. You know where to go get it. You know where to find it. So that's cool. That's like the vibe I was picking up from you, Libra. So we'll see how this might play out in your reading. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, the information for that's in the description down below. If you want to follow me over on my Instagram and TikTok, you can find me there at Jadestone Tarot. But yeah, I think this deck is ready. Let's get into it and let's see what's going on for Libra in October 2022. Happy birthday, by the way, Libra. We have the Knight of Cups coming out. Messages for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We also got, Judgment reversed. Oh, Emperor energy coming out. Messages for Libra in October 2022. The World. 3 out of 4 major arcana coming out. All right, and give me one more. The 10 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so this is a positive shit. Now, I will say, we do have Judgment reverse coming out, which raised my eyebrows a little bit. We have the 10 of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. So we have 2 10s out here in the world. So 3 cards symbolizing endings, cycles closing out, and new beginnings are just around the corner. So hang in there. I know you've been working your ass off. You've been working real hard. You've been staying committed. You've been taking on a lot of responsibilities, personal matters, as well as family, as well as health, as well as just like a whole bunch of shit, right? You might be taking on a whole lot right now. And that's actually the energy of the hummingbird in my animal spirit deck. It talks about going back to something, returning to something that replenishes your cup, replenishes your juice, replenishes your energy, because you're taking on so much in October and you have a lot on your plate and you're just busy. It's so important that you take time out to reconnect to yourself for self-study, for relaxation, for rest and recuperation, as well as like creativity, creative expression, finding the balance between your responsibilities versus your enjoyments, your pleasures. So making sure that, you have that balance in October and that you aren't just like taking on too much where you can't even enjoy the life that you're living, right? So make sure that Libra in October, you take time out for yourself, you take time out to rest, you take time out to be with your loved ones, your friends, your family, and just like embrace where you are at your journey and recognize that you're not in any rush. There's no need for you to rush to this end goal because you're going to get there. You are already on the right track. You're doing amazing. You're showing up. You're putting in the effort, and just know your hard work is going to be paying off, and it's going to be everything that you hoped, wished, and dreamed of having. It's coming in. And also to pay attention to what your intuition is saying, what you are feeling intuitively. Pay attention to your gut because it's on point. It is sharp. Your intuitive skills and abilities, you better pay attention here because the High Priestess is coming up because there's something that your intuition is suspicious of, or maybe suspicious is the wrong word. Suspicious is like, something's sus, something is shady. Maybe you're not even dealing with something like that, but there could be some sort of indication that your intuition's been kind of like nudging you to follow, and it's really important that you pay attention to that. Now, maybe that intuition is tying into something that you've been reflecting on. Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups with Judgment reversed. So the Knight of Cups in this deck specifically, he's in this more like dream state, kind of imaginative. It's really making me think of Neptune, right? Is Neptune in Pisces? I think so. It's actually kind of tying in with what's going on astrology speaking. It's like we got Venus in Libra, so we got all this lovey-dovey kind of lust energy, but there's a lot of illusion right now. There's a lot of illusion in the air. And so it's like, you know, you may be caught up in your feelings. Like for some, it's like you're looking back at a situation from your past, or looking back at someone you have a past with, and you're over romanticizing the past that you shared, and instead of looking at the full scope, the full situation, you're just looking at the things that you remember and the good times and the memories that you miss and you wish that you could go back. Or, you know, like I'm kind of getting the energy, like for some, your judgment may be a little bit off, or you could be getting blinded by love or even lust. Like you could be getting blinded by your emotions at this moment, and your judgment might be a little bit off because of your feelings, or because of how you feel towards someone, because someone, oh, I just got this, oh, you know what, I know what I'm smelling, it's it's my little oil diffuser. I need to put more water in it, because I'm like, oh my god, what's that smell? It's like, oh, it's the oil's like actually burning. Like, okay, so sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, there could be someone who's close to your heart, whether they're in your life currently or no longer, but there's someone who's close to your heart that you're thinking a lot about, that they've been on your mind. But Spirit is saying your judgment is a little bit off. It seems like your intuition deep down, you know the truth or the reality of this situation, of this person, but like your heart and your emotions are saying one thing, and yeah, your logic and your intuition is saying something else, right? So pay attention to your judgment. The fact is, we have the Emperor out here, Aries energy coming out. You need to be more logical here, right? Getting back into your logic, snapping back to reality. Oh, there goes Rabbit. He choked. He's so mad, but he won't. Okay, Eminem. Is he a Libra? Oh my god, what's his zodiac sign? Is he a fucking Libra? Hey, Eminem. Hey, Slim Shady. Nah, okay, I'm in like a funny mood today, you guys. Just, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, the Emperor, very, very serious energy, which is interesting because, oh, my ear is ringing. Okay, what's going on? What the hell is going on? Energy in this reading is a little bit funky. All right, which is interesting because I was saying like, oh, the hummingbird is more like a lighthearted energy, and from what I'm seeing here in these cards for you Libras, that you seem to be way more serious or a little bit tense. I would say you're kind of tense. You got a lot of shit to deal with. You got responsibilities. You know, you may find yourself kind of slacking off, or at times in daydream mode. You're like, oh shit, like, you know, you could be on the job or whatever, and then all of a sudden you just start like daydreaming. Your mind is elsewhere, and then you're like, oh shit, I need to do this job, or I gotta get back on track. I gotta get my focus. Like, it's almost like you are getting so like off track because of something that's on your mind, or someone who's on your mind, someone who maybe you have romantic feelings for, or were once connected to on a deep emotional level. Now, I do see that there is some sort of change or cycle coming to an end here with the World and Ten of Pentacles. I see, like, for some you could be moving, for some you're thinking about moving, or like for some, like your lease is up, or your lease is coming up, where it's like you either gonna resign or sign up for another term, another year, 6 months, or however long, or you may be thinking about going somewhere else or living somewhere else. Like, I'm picking up on the energy of moving or traveling, or like something to do with where you live or your home, your foundations, and that whatever you end up choosing or deciding, it's not only going to impact you, but it's also going to impact those that are around you, or those that are in your closest circle. All right. Let's see. What else am I picking up here? Is there anything else? No, but it seems like you have some important choices to make, and like you're the one in control of these choices, or the choice comes down to you. Like, it comes down to you on like what you want to do about this situation, and everyone around you is just kind of like waiting around. Like, it seems like you could be a leader, or you could be someone who like has high authority, or like, you know, head of the home, head of the house, that kind of vibe. So you've been trying really hard to make something work. You've been really trying. You've been making sacrifices. You've been like, even in regards to a relationship, a partnership, for some co-parenting or being parents with someone. It's like you've been really, really trying to make some sort of connection, or some sort of lifestyle, or some sort of like home environment or even in work. Like you've been trying to make something work. You've really been giving it a fair shot, a fair chance. But like deep down, your intuition is saying like, like there's like some questions that you have. There's some things that you're starting to wondering, is this really is this worth the fight? Is this really worth my investment? Is there something else that maybe it would be better for me? Like you're kind of starting to consider your other options, right? Seven of Pentacles can talk about you considering other options or like being open to other possibilities, right? So I guess let's start doing some clarifying here. I wanted to look into because there's a lot we could look into. Let's try to feel like what I'm being called to. Let's take a look into this Knight of Cups judgment reverse kind of energy. Like your judgment is a little bit off. So what's off about your judgment, or what is it that you're not seeing? There is something to do with like a cycle that could be repeating. If you aren't aware, you could be becoming aware of a cycle that you've been so blindsided by, or like you might be realizing here in October that your emotions that you had towards someone actually blindsided you from the reality of a situation. And now that Mercury's going direct in just a couple days, Sunday to be exact, I don't know, the 2nd of October, that's going to be a time, especially now as we're heading into eclipse season, woo, this is going to be a time where we're going to be having, as a collective, we're going to be having massive realizations and breakthroughs, especially about our relationships and partnerships. And that ties in, Libra, you're going to be feeling it as Venus is in Libra, and Venus, the planet of love, romance, beauty too, and all that other jazz, but especially partnerships are going to be highlighted here. Looking at the reality of partnerships, what's working, what isn't working. Is it a functional relationship, or is it very toxic or draining? Is it balanced? Is it imbalance? Like what's the reality here? And it's kind of like there's a bit of a reality check that's going on in October where there needs to be some changes. So anyways, holy shit, I've been shuffling this deck for so long. Tell me about Judgment and the Knight of Cups for Libra. I was gonna say Pisces for some reason. Tell me about Judgment reverse and the Knight of Cups. I think Knight of Cups is Pisces energy. We have the Alchemist, Judgment reverse, and the Knight of Cups. 5 of Wands reverse. I feel like you're trying to look for a solution. 8 of Cups. The solution's to walk away. And 2 of Swords at the bottom, like this is you right now, going back and forth, a little bit indecisive, like should I do this, should I do that? I don't really know. I'm gonna pull more on this though, because Knight of Cups and Judgment reversed. You have Hermit reversed with the 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands. Anything else? Wow, the Fool. Excuse me. So I will say ball is in your court about the direction you want to take this, where you want things to go, what you desire, the best possible outcome. I do feel like you basically can make that happen, but it may require work and it may not be easy. So it's about how bad do you want this partnership, this job, this fill in the blank. How bad do you want this to work? How willing are you to fight for this, to, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like comes down to your judgment here. Is this something worth investing into? Or maybe should you keep your options open and look at other paths that you could take? That is something that you're thinking about. I do feel like you're going to be coming to some sort of resolution in October. 5 of Wands reverse, where, that back and forth energy that you were feeling at first, where you're like, I don't really know what to do, or how should I handle this situation? Or, your emotions kind of swaying back and forth. And one day you're like, okay, cool, I like where this is headed. And other days you're like, I don't fucking like this. I don't want to be in this anymore. So there's been like a lot of back and forth energy. So with the 5 of Wands reverse coming out, it's like this is resolution to that back and forth kind of confliction. Now, where should I begin? We have Virgo energy, Aries energy, Aquarius energy. Some of you are deciding to walk away, 8 of Cups. Some of you are deciding, no, this isn't worth my effort. This isn't worth my energy. This is draining and I can't stay in this place any longer. I can't stay in this relationship any longer, etc., etc. I have to go. And Hermit reverse is like coming out of a period of reflection, of thinking about the action that should be taken, and then be like, you know what? I made up my mind. I've thought about it a lot. I've considered my options, and I think my best bet is to walk away. For some, your best bet is to continue going down this road and sticking it out and investing and seeing if there can be changes, if there can be improvements, if there can be another way where everybody pitches in, works together, and is on the same page. I do feel like that could happen. So again, Libra, it really just comes down to, what do you want? What makes you happy, right? We go back to that hummingbird energy of like, you know, returning to what makes you feel good, what replenishes you, what uplifts your spirit and makes you feel good and makes you feel confident and like, you know, so returning to that energy, what makes you feel good? If this environment, relationship, partnership, work, job, whatever, career, passion, hobby, goal, if it's something that makes you happy and it's something that is worth fighting for, then that's the path that you're going to choose. Except there's going to be some adjustments that are needed here, but it opens a new door. For others, you're realizing like, you know, this just isn't for me. I've tried, but intuitively it's a no. So I'm getting a mixed bag. It really just depends on your situation, where you're at in your journey, and asking yourself and being 100% honest with yourself and also others. Like, is this something really worth fighting for? If it is, awesome. If it isn't, awesome. Like, you know, just balls really in your court. The ball's in your court. But it's recommended that whatever you end up choosing or deciding, just be logical about it. Use your brains, use your logic. And don't be afraid to ask for more or demand more here, right? With the Emperor coming out, don't be afraid to speak up about what it is that you need, what it is that is going to make you feel heard, understood, appreciated, etc. Like whatever it is that you feel needs to change or needs to improve, you really need to stand up for that and speak up and demand that. And that's not a bad thing. Demand that. And if they can't give you what you need, in whatever realm what we're talking this about, whether this is work, maybe they're not paying you enough, if this is a friendship, maybe you feel like you're not being supported, or you know, maybe there's a bit of an imbalance in the energies, if this is a relationship, like I don't care. But it's important that you start asking for what you want. You start asking for it. You start putting it out there. People aren't mind readers here, right? So let's take a look into this High Priestess and see like what is it that your intuition's saying about the situation. Tell me about the High Priestess for Libra, because this can represent things that are hidden, things that you haven't been able to see or uncover just yet. This could be talking about things your intuition's been trying to hint at you, or you know, grab your attention. So let me clarify this High Priestess for Libra, Summer Rising Venus in October 2022. What is Libra's intuition trying to tell them that they aren't fully hearing or seeing or quite understanding? Tell me this, High Priestess. What is Libra's intuition trying to say? This deck does not want to shuffle, so I think it's ready. Justice, there's your energy coming out. Do what's right, do what's fair, do what's just, do what's balanced. And also remembering the lessons from your past and applying that wisdom to this situation. Also justice when it comes to decisions, making the logical decision. All right. So for some, you know, like intuitively, your intuition is saying like, I got to make the hard choice, or I got to make the logical choice here. Intuitively, you know, that's what's going to be best. But let's see. Talking about this High Priestess energy. What is Libra's intuition trying to tell them? We got, oh, wow, Strength with the 9 of Swords and the 7 of Swords. This is you overthinking your intuition, not trusting yourself, doubting yourself. Look, just constantly going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, and then in between the Prince of Cups. Going back and forth about your emotions, about how you feel towards someone. just, you know, kind of stuck in a pickle at a crossroad and lacking the trust within yourself to make the ability to make this choice, right? This is you right now, 9 of Swords, or you throughout October, where you're doubting your intuition, you're making excuses, you're making all these reasons why you shouldn't do what is actually going to be best. Like, you're making excuses for someone else's behavior, you're making excuses for someone else's actions, overlooking it, or almost like if you find yourself, if you're like talking to a friend or someone that's not, so if you're talking to someone, if you're venting to someone about the situation that you're dealing with, but you notice that you're kind of like trying to diminish the actual problems, you're trying to make them seem like they're not as big of a deal, or like trying to almost water down the issue so that the person that you're venting to doesn't think it's that bad, so that they're like, oh, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna work out. It's like if you're trying to convince yourself that it's not that big of a deal, but deep down you know, like, this fucking sucks, I fucking hate this, but it's almost like you're trying to convince yourself that it's not that bad. Don't do that, Libra. Don't. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time because you're just delaying the inevitable. If you know deep down, and this is not going to be for everyone, right? But if you know deep down, this isn't working, and you're just kind of delaying the inevitable by keeping yourself around in this situation or keeping certain individuals around in your life, but you know deep down, like, this isn't going to work, or you know deep down you don't see a future here, then just pull the plug. Just pull the plug before you spend more time, energy, effort, money in this environment. And then, like, you know, that's just my 2 cents. But some of you, like, this is, I'm picking up on a group that's more of like leaning towards leaving the situation. This is not really directed towards those that are thinking about, like, no, it's worth fighting for. If it's worth fighting for, cool, like, then you just, there you go. But like, I'm picking up more of like a group that's like considering like leaving, but it's almost like you're trying to convince yourself why you should stay, or like almost like you're trying to get others to convince you that you are just like overthinking or overanalyzing, or that you are just like reading too much into the situation. Like, you're not. You're not. Now I'm telling you what you don't want to hear. You don't want to hear this because you're like, no, like, you're supposed to tell me to stay. It's like, nope. I'm not going to tell you to stay in a situation that makes you feel like this. Only stay if that's what feels right to you. But I'm kind of picking up on the vibe, like, deep down you know the choice must be made. It's something that has you feeling restless. It has something that it's requiring a lot of strength for you to like push through. It's a lot of mental anguish here. Like, my head almost, it's like I kind of almost feel like a bit of a headache come on with this energy. And I think it's in relation to someone that you're connected to romantically. Maybe you have family with them, maybe you live with them, maybe you are expecting a child with them, or you have children with them. So yeah, it's kind of like you kind of feel you're not happy about current circumstances. Damn. All right, so let's take a look into the world. How does this all end? How does this, what even card were we clarifying? Oh, the moon is right here. I was like trying to figure out what card was I clarifying here. Yeah, so let me take a look into the world. I'm going to use this deck. Talk about the world for Libra. So what's expected? Of course, you got your free will, nothing set in stone, but based off current timelines, what is the world talking about? So how does this end here? What can Libra expect? Because obviously a big old cycle is closing out. So tell me about the world for Libra, summarizing Venus. Look, bottom of the deck, the world double confirmation. Tell me about the world, please, for Libra. What is expected about this situation? Emperor reversed coming out. Tell me about the world for Libra. King of Pentacles. Tell me about the world for Libra. The Star. And the Six of Cups. there is the energy of wishing you could go back to the past, or wishing you could see. That goes back to this Knight of Cups energy. So Libra, I'm just gonna throw a scenario out here. Like, let's just use love for example, because that's like easy for me, at least. Easy for me to talk about. Okay. So for example, like, you know, you're in this relationship, maybe you've been in it for a long time, short time, but I'm gonna just say maybe it's been a long relationship, and things have changed, the dynamics have changed, the connections changed, you know, you're not the same people you once were when you first started this connection. And so you may find yourself from time to time, like, looking back at how the connection used to be, and it ties in with that Six of Cups of, like, Six of Cups in the star, like, wishing you could have that same spark, that same energy that you used to have in the past, right? Things used to be so enjoyable. You felt so connected to this person at one point. You felt really happy being with them. You felt like, you know, you're just on the top of the world with this person, right? And realistically now, as you're looking at this connection, you're like, those emotions that I once had, they're not really there. The butterflies have died. The romance has kind of died. The spark has died. The connection it's not really there, unfortunately. And yet you stick around hoping that maybe, just maybe, that romance, that spark, that chemistry is going to be relit. And it's almost like you could be trying to look at the potential of this connection, be like, well, the potential's still there, like, things could change, like, you know, we could get back to our old ways, but that's just keeping you holding on to this potential of something that's not real. Like, I'm not saying that it's not impossible. I'm not saying that it couldn't become real, right? But you're holding these expectations on another person, which isn't fair, right? It's really important that you allow people to be as they are, not what they could be or what they used to be. And it's something that, like, you're trying to control here with the Emperor reverse. You're trying to control something that's outside of your control. And I think you're realizing that here. I think you're realizing, like, I've been trying to control something that's outside of my reach. Damn. And with that King of Pentacles, it's like getting back to reality, grounded in reality, and seeing things for what they are. Remember and treasure the past times, the past memories. But, like, let's be here right now, and, like, let's look at the facts. And it's kind of just starting to see the reality instead of what it could have been, or what it should be, or what it used to be, but seeing it for what it actually is, what it truly is. So Temperance, Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords at the bottom. Again, like, this reading is more directed towards those that are kind of on the fence of possibly to stay or to go. You're on the fence because deep down, if you know that this person, if this, again, this is in regards to, like, love example, but we had the Knight of Cups show up quite a few times in this reading, so for a majority of you it's probably related to some sort of connection, partnership. But I'm really picking up on the group that's leaning towards leaving or considering cutting themselves free from this. I kind of see, like, for some you might just choose that single road. Temperance, Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. Nine of Pentacles is a very single energy here. Three of Swords and then Temperance, like healing from heartbreak, healing from pain, healing from sadness, healing from ending, disappointment, seeing the truth of the situation. What is this? The affirmation of the Three of Swords says, I see things exactly as they are. So, Libra, I think it's really important that in this situation, you have to see things for what they are. I think you're getting blinded by, like, again, you may have lots of love for this person. You have lots of care for this person. And that's some real genuine shit. You can't lie about that. You can't make that shit up. But, like, looking at the reality, sometimes the truth hurts. And it seems to hurt you. I don't know how it's affecting the other person or other people involved. But it definitely affects you. And you want to do what's right. This is what I've noticed so far in the air sign readings. Like, Geminis, like, they try to do some shit right, but it's totally different storyline. For you, it's like you're wanting to do what's right, but it hurts. Doing what's right doesn't always feel right in the moment. Sometimes doing what's right is the hardest thing you can do. But, yeah. So with Temperance coming out, really take your time with this. Take some time out to really think and contemplate and feel your way through, but you really need to listen to your intuition, and it's really showing up here that you have to make a logic-based decision rather than one with emotions. So you may have to be a bit detached when it comes to this big choice. But yeah, take your time and don't rush into any choices unless you're 100% sure. But it feels like you're trying to convince yourself to stay in a situation that you aren't happy in. You're just staying in the situation out of comfort, out of safety, out of like what you know. And of course, like the small group, which they probably clicked off by now because like I'm talking like to the group that's like considering leaving, but like for the small group that's like, no, I'm happy here, doing great. Like you stay, if it's worth fighting for, it's worth fighting for. I'm not saying don't fight for it, but it's just like it's this situation is really asking you to see things as they are. No bullshit, no delusion, none of that. Like really just seeing it for what it really is. So that sometimes can be hard, especially when your emotions are involved and it's about people that you care for deeply. But it's a tough choice. So, all right, Libra, I'm going to leave the reading here. I hope that this was helpful and insightful. If it was, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, the information for that's in the description. And if you want to follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, you can find me there at Jadestone Tarot. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.